Thank you for the introduction. My name is Shekhar, he has already introduced. In fact, I'm a 10-year-old son, so nowadays he keeps asking me a lot of questions, and especially about who invented that product or some other product. So I keep on really looking at who invented different stuffs. So it has become a habit for me to really look at different inventions. So yesterday I was just checking out who invented such panel discussion. Okay, so what is the definition of this panel discussion? Though I couldn't find the name of the person who actually invented the panel discussion. Okay, it seems it's been invented by a person who wanted to sit 3 feet above the audience. Okay, had a wonderful chat with his friends who are there in the podium for 60 minutes or 90 minutes or so, and gladly acknowledge the people who are sitting there on the ground, generally in uncomfortable chairs. So that was the definition which was really given. We hope we will try to really change the definition and ensure that the definition is changed. Right. So I am the moderator. What we plan to do is we have a very good panel, different industries, one from manufacturing, from Facebook, financial services, and leadership development, education. So we will try to be in different perspectives. Also, there will be a Q&A session where we can get some interesting questions from you guys, so that we make it very conversational and not just a one-day monologue from the panelists over here. So my job is to be the moderator. We will really have a 15-minute presentation from each one of us on this topic. Depending on the time, after each presentation, we can really entertain a couple of questions. Okay, and after all the 4 presentations are through, we'll open the floors for maybe the last 30 minutes. So that's how it's going to be. If I really look at it, what is the objective which we want to really achieve in this 19-minute session is everyone is talking about uncertain times, economy, whether it's developed market or developing markets. So what is the role of the CLO? What are the best practices? What will be the role of the CLO in the future? We will really look at how we can share interesting thoughts, insights to enable business to really perform in this uncertain times. Right? So that's the objective, at least I'm really looking at getting from this collective intelligence in this room, and the panel members, also from the audience, sharing some interesting questions. So here we go. We will really start our session and really take it as it really comes along. Okay. I work with HDFC Life. So the context to really give is a pretty large organization from a scale point of view. We are having around 15,000 employees. Our attrition rates are pretty high. So from a learning point of view, we need to really train around 30,000 employees a year. We have around 50,000 agents. So the learning map is around 500 cities in India with 80,000 learners to be trained the entire year. So that's the scale of operations, right? So some of the practices which I would like to really share will be with this context in mind. So it may be applicable to some industries, or some industry you can really pick up what is really relevant. So the first point I would like to really say from a CLO point of view is not from a CLO. From an organization point of view, what is required to make a very successful organization or create a role for a CLO which is really meaty enough and which can really add value. In different interactions when I really have across multiple industries, at least what I believe and what I've really found is the cohesive structure sometimes may be missing. For example, in some of the organization, there will be a sales training division, there will be HR handling the leadership development, there will be a small team handling e-learning. Okay. So one of the key things which the CEO and the organization should really look at, if they don't really derive maximum out of the CLO and the team, is to have the organization structure in place, is a senior resource really put in, with a holistic structure where the entire gamut of enterprise-wide learning is under one umbrella. and also giving commitment on investment in the learning and putting the senior resource structure which is really enabling a learning organization. So these are the very critical enablers which is required to enable a learning organization, enable a CLO also to really perform very effectively. Also there has to be, I believe that a very good governance structure. Okay, we see that a lot of reviews, governance mechanism happens as far as the business numbers are concerned, maybe on a monthly basis, weekly basis, quarterly basis. Okay, so do every organization from best practice point of view have a very rigorous governing review cadence with the top management on set periodic basis, whether it's monthly. If it is happening for business, it should be happening with CLO as well as the L&D itself, so that the continuous insights and inputs from the business goes to CLO, and they can also really perform and give it back to the business. Right? So that's the first critical point, which from an organization point of view, the CLO should be really empowered. Now, if I really look at what are the other though we are really looking at VUCA times, which Nitin will really elaborate on, or uncertain times. Okay, still. I believe it's possible to really have, if not a 5-year strategy from an L&D perspective, at least a medium 3-year strategy. Okay, and stick to it. Even if it is 60 or 70%, you will stick to it and adapt 30% depending on how your business is moving in the next 2 to 3 years down the line. Okay, it really adds a lot of value to the business, because with the stakeholders, at least you can really talk about a plan, which is 3 years, and really stick to the plan year on year. Because then the investment, the confidence that the stakeholder will have possibly will be far better, even from the CEO perspective. Also, it gives time for the L&D as well as the CLO to move in a very structured fashion. Because on year one of the operation itself, you can't really talk about measurement, business impact. If you really showcase clearly, you have a 3-year plan. You will put some basics in place in first year, you will do some next level intervention in the second year, and then you can really talk about third year measurement impact if it's really possible. So it also helps in expectation setting. So if you really provide a 3-year plan or a 5-year plan, that in the first year itself don't expect we are really doing this fundamental stuff. Right? The other is all of us, I think, in L&D and HR profession, any profession, I feel that all the best practices is never new. I don't think we are going to really, everyone would have heard about LMS, adding training maturity model, and that's what SKMM is all about. Okay, it's all about execution. Okay, execution actually in spirit. Okay, whether these processes, this technology, whether it's this governing mechanism, if you have really taken quality model, like a training maturity model, are you really following it to the T for a period of which 5 years or not? Okay. So the clear role from a brick and mortar point of view for a CLO will be ensuring that these best practices are really put to use, it's executable, and it's all about whether any function you take, whether it's a CLO, CEO, or HR, or any function, it's all about execution. So the same applies, I believe, to the CLO as well as the L&D organization, where we have the best practices. Most of us know the best practices which are really available by sharing with colleagues and with reading materials. The idea is how we can really execute with excellence. So that is the role of the CLO. The other, I think it goes from the medium to long-term strategy itself. The key is to really take baby steps from the CLO and L&D organization. So the first step should be to really look at smaller wins, which are really aiming directly for some brilliant program which has a measurable impact. Okay, so you create smaller wins. Okay, demonstrate that to the stakeholders. Okay, and then really progress over a period of time to really get their confidence, get the money from the investment point of view, and really demonstrate huge business impact. Okay, because if you really go with intent and discussion on the larger wins, okay, if the failure unfortunately happens, then the investment flow doesn't really happen later on. So go for a smaller one, set the expectation, and then really go ahead from a timing perspective. From an L&D perspective, I think we talked treat the learners also as customers. In this, I would say learners also include business stakeholders, so the bosses of the learners as well. Okay, because sometimes we get into that shell of they don't come to the classroom, they don't really appreciate our programs. So if you really think from a customer service point of view, or if learner-centric point of view, then we will see it as their feedback and really introspect and look at it as a feedback loop and improve our own program. So deep inside, even though it's very easy to say, the key is from a CLO and the L&D organization point of view to really look at the learners, the stakeholders, including the CEO, as our customers, okay, because they are going to really put in the money as far as investment is concerned, and see that how we can keep on really servicing them, okay. And service here doesn't mean we do what they ask us to do. It also means, even in customer service, actually educating them that what is required from capability development point of view, saying no when it's really required with some logic, and really delivering what is really required from a business point of view. The other I feel from a CLO role is recognize the learners and or penalize. Maybe in the initial phase, one can really resort to penalize, especially, but it depends on the industry and the organization. I was sharing with Nitin, maybe in Facebook it is almost impossible to really look at penalize it. I need to be recognition. But really track, identify good learners, okay, who are really, and track not so really good learners. We look at incentivizing or disincentivizing them, okay, and publishing, okay, and creating those platforms, the organization, so that it really builds that learning culture. Okay. So we believe that in the initial phases, it's very difficult to really create a learning culture. So maybe one can really resort to mandating the learning. Okay. But once that discipline happens and it becomes a habit, you can remove that penalizing factor and really look at rewarding and recognizing the learners for being a good learner. The other is, I think there is a concept called zero-based budgeting if you have done accountancy or cost accountants. Okay, so every year, any CFO or accountant do really look at if I don't have money. Okay, so I have zero money. Now I need to look at each and every cost and see whether I will spend this money or not. That's called zero-based budgeting. Okay, I think the L&D folks also should really look at investment every year. Okay, as from a zero budgeting point of view, and see that how we are really adding value. Okay, do we need to really continue to provide these programs or not? Okay, and actually go back to the business instead of they really asking us this question: that do we need to really invest? Do you see any value? Do you see? Will you really take this investment in your business allocated cost center? Okay, so the idea is to really think from their perspective and shun the insecurity and really ask if you are there in the place, even if it results in maybe L&D is not required because of the difficult times. One needs to be really bold enough to really have such a difficult conversation with the stakeholders. In fact, the uncertain times really gives huge opportunities. In fact, any organization, I'm sure, there are so many business issues, so many change management happening, so many opportunities which are really there. Okay, one of the key beliefs we have is the L&D and the CLO should really look at what are the organization problems which are so much in abundance that are happening, prioritize those as to what are the big ones, and proactively go back to the management team and really present to them and demonstrate how L&D can really help in this current business issues. Okay. Or you can go back to them and even say some non-training intervention, because training may not be the right solution for that business problem. Okay. But the idea of the message here is proactively the CLO should really be part of the business, look for opportunities which are in abundance today because of the uncertain times, and look at how we can provide value, whether it's a change management, whether it's a business performance, and really demonstrate value to the business. So the message is proactively looking at business issues and see it as an opportunity and providing value. We always talk about L&D giving training to others. I think it's very critical to really invest in L&D team itself. Okay, and on whether it's facilitation skills or especially on domain knowledge of that business, because you need to really folks there in the company. Also about the very good practices in L&D, whether they are actually using it or not. It serves two purposes. One is for the motivation and the morale for the training team. Second is the stakeholder also sees that they themselves are investing in training. You may not know, but they may have in their subconscious mind, these guys themselves don't go for training, but they really ask us to really come for the classroom training every now and then and completely learning. The other is actually the L&D team from CLO to the last level should practice what we teach. For example, in leadership training, one example can be performance review, right? So is the L&D managers really doing very frequent performance review? Are they really documenting it? Okay. Is the feedback loop really given? Okay. Or we train sales teams to really have a very follow sales management process, enter in the system, ensure that the sales management process is really followed. Okay. Do the L&D team really follow the learning management process? Do they enter the learning records in the learning management system itself? Okay. Because one needs to really demonstrate that the process, the technology, and the whatever we are really teaching or training them, the stakeholder also really, in a different way, they will look at whether you are practicing or not. Okay. And not only from the stakeholder point of view, I think we should, from a CLO and the L&D point, we should ensure that we are practicing what we preach. Otherwise, it just becomes more of a superficial jam session, to say the least, right? And lastly, what I really like to say is, always there is a pressure for measurement from the CEO, the business heads. In every such a CLO meets I attend, always there is a pressure. These guys ask for business impact, right? We believe that it has to be co-created. Okay. So I don't know the answer. Okay. I have so many offerings in place. Okay. You also give me ideas as to how we can really co-create. From a process, technology, from a measurement point of view, and help business to really see the business impact. Okay. So the measurement need not be only the CLO really going and saying that, hey, I have got a solution for you, and this is how it's going to really ensure that the business impact is going to really happen. Okay. I don't have answers for everything. Okay. So let's really partner and really create those measurements and co-create it. Okay. So that they also own it. Okay. And if in some programs it's becoming a program, at least they know that there is no answer to it, so I can't even beyond a point of raise, because even I don't know the answer. So how can you really expect the CLO to really know the answer? So measurement is a pretty tough game. Okay. So co-create, make them the partner in this entire game. So the entire my view is, irrespective of the economy, irrespective of the bad or good times. Okay. I believe that these are the basic fundamental stuff. Okay. The CLO and the L&D organization should really look at. Okay. Having it at any point of time. Okay. And this will and in addition to that, maybe during uncertain times, you need to do much more. But if you don't have this fundamental brick and mortar in place for L&D, then getting value addition to the business, or getting confidence from the stakeholders, or getting the investment from the stakeholders, I believe may not be as easy as it seems. Thank you. That really takes care of my part of it. What we will do is, if you have any specific questions, a couple of them which I can really entertain at this point of time, I can really answer. Otherwise, we'll move to the next speaker and yeah.
Hi, I'm heading learning and development for a packaging company from Noida. And my question is pertaining to your last point, which is about measurement, which you very rightly said that the most often question that we have put up is, what is the business result we get out of any investment that they make for learning and development? But apart from that, for this, we are facing this challenge for a long time now, so we have been able to come up with different ideas on that. Another thing that I am facing particularly since some time is what leaders want from us is what next. You've done this intervention, you've done so many sessions, or you've done this, so what next? How do you plan to continue? So that's another challenge that I'm facing. we do a lot of brainstorming, we co-partner with them, we take their ideas, we will engage with the consultants we hire. But then they want to know what next is happening, how do you continue it, how do you sustain it, how do you, what do you do to make its existence for a longer time than it is there after the session. So,
I will try to answer, and I will ask my colleagues also if they have answered, please. See, what we have done at least with HLI is we have created a learning map for every employee in the organization across departments. So, if Chandrasekhar is joining say HLI today, I have a learning map for next 2 years to almost 30 months. I know exactly, it's not about just induction, which is first day. On the 4th month, on day 1, what I have to really come back for a classroom and an e-learning session, okay. And on the 12th month, what is there? On the 24th month, what is there? And now we are going into even linking the learning map to the career path. So unless you really complete this training and also really pass the assessments, we have a rigorous assessment, also knowledge and skill assessment, okay. You will not be allowed to even apply for your promotions 2 years down the line, okay. My answer to that will be, if you put the learning map for every employee, every department from a long-term perspective, 2 to 3 years, okay, then the possibility of what next hopefully doesn't arise because you have a learning map itself for the 2 to 3 years down the line. Okay. Unless you are in a company where the retention is touchwood, everyone is there for 10 years because we have a good attrition. 2 years if they are there, we are very happy. Anyway, okay, so we don't have that next, that kind of a problem. The second is, because of these uncertain times, we are facing a lot of regulatory issues and we are really forced to rethink our entire business model every now and then, okay, which poses a lot of business challenge. So that gives us an opportunity, as I was saying, okay, as to what we need to really provide to improve their performance. I'll share what we do. I don't know if it's possible, but what we have done, I can tell you. At HLI, we have some mandated programs. One is compliance training, and we come up with new insurance products almost there for every month or every 2 months. And we have mandated that every employee has to really complete the product training and pass the product exam in 15 days after the product launch. Okay? Because we can't afford our employees meeting the customer without having the understanding of the new products. That's the bottom line. Now, what we have done, but we would not like to do in future, okay, but you have to start somewhere, and then once it becomes a habit, and for last year, 1 year we have been doing this, then it becomes a habit, then we can remove that penalty. So what we have done is, if you don't, from MD to the last level in the organization, we disable the HR system, they don't get paid salaries. So it's as simple as that. So if it can be done, so the key is, my first slide was very critical. The top management commitment is very, very critical. In our company, the MD CEO also goes through product training. He has to pass the product test. We publish records of who has passed this paid, which has even MD's name. Okay. So when I say top management commitment, it has to be that kind of commitment. Okay. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
I would request delegates to kindly introduce yourself.